We're honored to have you. Thank you so very much. I stand before you today, a lover and believer and follower of Jesus Christ. And I have to get that out because nowadays you got so many new age going on, you know, you have to make sure people know exactly where you come from and where you stand. I'm also the husband to a very beautiful woman, the father to 7 pretty good kids, the grandfather to 2 excellent, outstanding, bright, terrific, magnificent grandsons. But I'm also a conservative. I'm a patriot. I'm an old soldier. I did 20 years in the military. And I am so glad to say that I am just overwhelmed with the Tea Party. I am just, all I can say is shame on the liberal media, shame on Mr. Charlie Rangel, shame on Maxine Waters, shame on all of these politicians who would try to make us look like we're racist, make us look like we're stupid, make us look like we're just fired up old people raising hells for no reason at all. We have got a right to be upset. And it is so ironic, believe me. I am 64 years old. I was brought up in the South. I was brought up in a segregated society. I never in my lifetime thought that this country would advance to the point of having a black president. The only problem is it's the wrong person. Wrong person. Wrong time. Wrong policies. Evil regime. And that's exactly what it is. You don't realize how hard it is many times being among people and telling them exactly how you feel. Just because Mr. Obama is a black man, I saw through him long before most people did. And was afraid, and my wife can tell you, I was afraid at that point. Took more flack than you possibly can imagine from more people than you possibly can imagine. But you know what? I come from a long line of Republicans in my family. My father was a Republican. I've got heroes who were Republicans. Name a few. Martin Luther King, Republican. James Abernathy, Republican. And when I went into the military and was in there for 20 years, and was a time when Mr. Carter had taken over the administration, and I can remember being in the field where we didn't even have bullets. That's how bad our military was. Amen. We didn't even have bullets out in the field. We had to pretend we were shooting people. We couldn't go on live fire problems simply because his regime, his administration, had put us in such a flux that we could not see our way out of it until President Ronald Reagan took the reins. And when we talk about modern day heroes, that's one of my main heroes, Mr. Ronald Reagan. I stand before you today, as I said, a patriot. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud. I was proud to be in the United States Army. I was proud to serve my tours overseas, whether in combat or in peace areas. I was proud. And I'm still proud. But every day I try to get my children to understand the situation that we're in right now. And I'm so fortunate. I've got some pretty conservative kids, most of them. I got a couple that need a little help. But most of them understand the situation that this country is in. You know, and we're at a point where we cannot allow ourselves to go to sleep at the wheel. When I came here to Hopkinsville from Jacksonville, Florida, I was so disgruntled with my party. I was so disgruntled. I was just totally, I just had it, you know. And I was living in a Democratic district that had been gerrymandered by a very crooked politician by the name of Corrine Brown. I was the only Republican, I'd say, probably in about, and I'm not being funny on this, I was probably the only Republican in probably a 35-mile area, only black Republican, okay? So when I stuck signs in my yard, political signs in my yard, I used to have to get a lot of them because my wife said, you know they're going to tear it up. And they did, you know, they did. Even to the point of one time almost being physically attacked because of my beliefs. But you know what? That's all right. That is all right. Because you've got to stand for what you believe. You've got to stand for what you believe. So when I got here to Hopkinsville, I had just about given up on all kind of Republican issues or political issues. And God put me next door to John and Rachel, you know. And I began to talk to them, and I go, my goodness, Deb, I was talking to my wife, I said, you know, I got to go back down and register as a Republican again, you know. I can't stand on the sideline, you know, and I'm not going to stand on the sideline. So today I want to leave you with one thing. Regardless of our color, regardless of our background, we know that this is a great country. We know that much blood was spilled for our freedoms. Okay? And since we know this, we have got to make a stand against this evil and corrupt regime. We have got to make a stand. We have got to let people know how we feel. Thank you so very much.